Hi, and welcome to the Sportsman Show. I am your host, Joe Musel, along with my other co-host, not with television, Coachy.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Coachy.
you. Yes. Yeah. We had the camera's fine where it is. We just, I guess in the past few episodes, I was going to get a nice telephone call, but instead I saw him in person. And he wanted to let me know that I can go like this and look at the screen, but I cannot have the TV in the background with the camera. I guess there's a copyright law, and I guess heaven forbid the ratings would go down a notch or something. I don't know what the rules are for the station, so.
I don't know. The 5 people that probably watch us will not be
We'll
able to see us anymore.
tell us at all at this point. So.
And stuff. But
before we start with the football
and the basketball,
we have to get it off our chest later for basketball and hockey because unfortunately it's taking a big hit. But we'll get to that later. We need to talk about baseball because we had 2 deaths this week.
One a legend.
We want to start with Hank Aaron. Or you want to start with Don Sutton?
We'll start with Hank Aaron. We'll honor
Okay, go ahead.
Aaron. 86 years old, passed away on Friday. One of the true great icons of baseball. I mean, some still say he's the home run king. Not acknowledging Barry Bonds' record because of the steroid use, but some still, and a really classy guy. And I wasn't around when he broke Babe Ruth's record in 1973. I wasn't even born yet, but he took a lot of heat for doing that. I mean, it was a racial controversy about him breaking that record, and he did it with a lot of class. He always was a classy guy. Some call him the greatest hitter of all time because if you look at his stats, he had an average 305 batting average. He hit 3,771 hits, 755 home runs, and he batted in over 2,293 runs. I mean, he's the only player at the top of the 5 out of the 5 home run kings to hit 3,000 hits too. He was a 25 All-Star, 24-year time All-Star. I mean, just never hit over 50 home runs. Just a true athlete. That just defines a true great athlete to me. Is his stats, his statue, way he played. And I wish I didn't even see his full career when he finished up. Did you see anything, Coachy, of his career? I know you were very young too.
I wasn't born yet either at that point, but I've gotten to see some of the history about it watching ESPN. All the history of what he's done, being in the Hall of Fame, teaching everybody the bat, how to hit the home run and stuff. But he did play for the Milwaukee as well with Atlanta.
Yep, Milwaukee and Atlanta.
But the way when he hit 715, that was really the only thing that baseball was really interested in at one point. They were like, everyone was probably on the edge of their seats like, okay, Babe Ruth's record, he's not around, and he wasn't even around, of course, back then. He was unfortunately passed away too early because of, he wanted to bulk up the stomach. But but anyway, he was a great player. I've seen the clips where he hit home run 715, where he made it over left field, and he played the game the right way. He absolutely did. He didn't take any drugs. He didn't take any steroids. He didn't do anything crazy. He didn't get arrested. Yes, but actually in baseball, Joe, in the 70s, the barrier stuff was just about over and done with at that point.
No, he took a lot of heat. He took a lot of hatred. People were sending him hatred mail for breaking that record. I mean, he took a lot. He took a lot of hits for that. And, 86 years old, not too bad of a lifespan. I mean,
but they liked him pretty quickly after the years gone by after he retired.
Yeah. I I don't know. Should his number be fully retired throughout baseball for
You
being
know, I'll be
as a
honest, yes, because Jackie Robinson got his number retired. Number 42 was never worn again, even though Mo Vaughn wore it. They let him wear it, but once he was retired, 42 was no more.
yeah, and I think 44 should be retired throughout baseball.
44, I think, should be retired too. I mean, nobody really. I mean, Reggie Jackson is really the last person that wore 44, maybe, or was there a couple other players that worn 44?
Not a couple more, but not
Yeah.
as famous or anybody.
Yup. I mean, that's about it on that one. But but yeah, when was he there for? I don't. No, he wasn't there for Barry Bonds' record home run. He refused to go, I think.
Yeah, he refused to go.
He did send a message though over the Videotron, but
Yeah,
he knew when Barry Bonds was breaking the record, they were accusing him of steroids, which we still will never know if he actually did it or not, because he's tried to get into the Hall of Fame like 4 times and it's actually failed. So this one he might get in this one because it'll be from the media.
yeah, he may get in. I mean, that's a shame of Barry Bonds being on top and stuff like that with the steroids. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, without the home run chases of Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa,
Ken Griffey Jr.
and stuff, baseball after the strike would have died. I mean, they would have lost a lot of people not watching that sport without the Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa home run chase. I mean, a lot of people watched that game where Mark McGwire broke Babe Ruth's record.
Mm-hmm. And they weren't talking about the drugs until maybe about a couple of years later.
Yeah, because everybody was making money off of that, hand over fist. Everybody was.
Rafael Palmeiro. Remember, he said, "I never used drugs," and then whoops, he changed his story pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did. But
and that's the unfortunate thing. But it's going to be talked about this weekend. I'm hoping maybe the Hall of Fame, they'll name an award, the Home Run Award. They'll name it after Henry Aaron, hopefully.
Yeah, they should. They should name a reward. Maybe the Home Run King in the All-Star game gets the Henry Aaron.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Home run reward.
So now moving on, we did have another baseball player that passed away this week, but you don't hear much about it. But Don Sutton passed away a couple of years ago. He was a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He did pitch for the Angels, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Am I correct on that? Okay.
I think so. Yes.
He had a very good career, and then he went on to the TV booth. He was with the Atlanta Braves for almost 30 years, and let me tell you, he knew the knowledge of baseball because they used to have the Braves games around here before they moved all their Atlanta Braves games now to Fox Sports Fox Sports South, as they call it now. It used to be on TBS around here.
Yeah.
So, Sutton did it same thing. He played it the right way, and made it to the Hall of Fame, and but he was very famous for what he did with the Dodgers. He did win a couple World Series titles, so another person that passed away, unfortunately.
I think he went in the Hall of Fame twice as for a broadcaster too.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
I thought he only went in it once, but he actually did go in there twice. So, and then we have another TV legendary tonight. If you feel like at least CNN's going to get away from all that presidential baloney that they've had all week. But
we have a new president.
Yeah, I know, but still, we can't. Politics is still a no-no here.
Yeah, well, we can acknowledge that we have a new president.
Yeah, we can't acknowledge a new president. That's all we can. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, yes, we know there isn't any rules to say about it, but we have to keep it in respect. But good luck to our president. See what happens.
Yep.
But Larry King passed away this morning.
Yep.
The famous person on CNN. For all you people who loved him, there's a special on CNN tonight at 9:00. The memory of what he did on TV before he called it a career. Of course, he did infomercials for a couple of years, and then that was the end of that. So, but we're hopefully, but at least with baseball, spring training isn't too far away, and they're expected to play a full season and 25% capacity, we think.
At some stadiums.
Some, yeah.
No.
Some are going to have fans, but I think that some right now won't be. Some probably about half the stadiums won't have fans.
Yeah.
At
I don't
east
think
side, definitely not.
I don't think the North will have fans yet.
No, I don't think so either. So, but all
But
right, we got through with the baseball. For this next topic, this is for both of us for our next two sports because basketball has been having an ongoing problem now.
yeah.
I'll let you talk about the 23. Yeah, is it 23 or 24 games have now been postponed now for this year? It's 23, right?
I believe it is up to 23 or 24.
Okay.
And this is just going to happen throughout the whole season. Postpones because, I mean, for the Celtics, Jason Tatum's not even back from COVID-19, his quarantine.
Yeah, I saw the Celtics did get back into action. So
yeah, they're in action. They're losing games. They're losing leads. They're not. They need Jason Tatum back. They need that punch.
Yeah, they need him in a hurry.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, they fell out of first place and went down to fourth, just spiraling out of control a little. That's with Kemba Walker back. Doing his stuff, but they need Jason Tatum back desperately.
Absolutely.
I mean,
the latest victim team that who has not played, it's been almost 2 weeks now, is the Nashville Grizzlies. They've gone about 2 weeks now without playing.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been 2 weeks and stuff like that. For basketball, it's just, I think it's too much traveling. I think they could have did like hockey and only did the regions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is in the NBA, unfortunately, we don't remember the poor Toronto Raptors are playing all their games in Tampa, Florida right now. They're not even up north of the border at their own games.
Yeah, they're not. So, I mean, but they're having a poor season right now too. So,
yep.
I don't know if that counts for the.
I don't know if it's going to be part of it, or they're just homesick, or
they're not. They've lost a lot. The Toronto has lost a lot over the past couple of years since their championship. I mean, they've lost. There's lost their key players from that roster. They're really a shell of themselves of that.
Yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting. But overall, how is the NBA team? Yes, the offense is still going up and scoring. It has not stopped.
Yeah, it's still going. Offense is going just through the roof. 155 to 140. The Brooklyn Nets have their James Harden on their team.
Yep.
They played with Kyrie Irving. All big three was on the court. They lost.
And look what happened. They lost twice.
They lost twice. They lost to the Cleveland
Cavaliers in double overtime.
Yep.
Which I heard Cleveland dealt somebody to the Houston Rockets because he was shouting at one of the coaches and he was screaming his heart out, and then was like, nope, see you later. You're traded to Houston.
Yeah, he went to Houston, but
yep, that was his punishment.
Houston's been picking up a few wins and stuff, but it's a hard season to judge right now. I mean, yes, the Lakers are back rolling into a little bit more of a championship run, but other teams that could be contenders and stuff like that, they're really not breaking away from the pack. They're.
Oh yeah.
Let me look up some standings here.
Go ahead.
I know Philadelphia right now is looking good, especially with their new coach. And the rest are just hovering around 500, and just in the East. And the Knicks are actually in the playoffs if everything stopped right now. So
yeah, don't count on it.
Don't count on that.
NBA's a month into the season now.
Yeah, they're a month in. You got both LA teams out west on top. You got
And the Lakers are now starting to get hot again.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the Lakers are 12-4. So I mean,
And they got off to a sluggish start too.
well, it takes a little bit for LeBron to get motivated enough to play some regular season games nowadays.
Yep.
In his career, I mean, he's up to what? 17 years, 18 years?
Yeah, getting there. Remember, he started at a nice high school age of 18, so.
Yeah, he did. He started early. Last player to do that, so.
Yep.
Well,
you know.
Yeah.
But that's but so far I just hope, we just got to hope that they can get these games in because 23 games is quite a lot to start the season with a month in.
Well, 23 games. You're going to see more postponements. They should have just maybe conference off everybody and less traveling.
Yup.
But they didn't do that.
No, because the NBA, it's all about them. They want a lot more money. That's the whole problem compared to what the NHL is doing right now, which I'll get to in a minute. But go ahead and continue.
Yeah, they want the money. They want the matchups, the key matchups throughout the year. But it's a funny feeling season. It's just doesn't feel like basketball's fully basketball right now. So.
Nope. All right, I will.
Yeah, you can talk about your hockey.
My hockey now. Yeah, I know. There's been a lot to especially what happened this morning, but apparently it started last night. But before I talk about the first major trade of the season, the NHL, as you know, started with the Dallas Stars. Had 17 players that went on the COVID list. They finally played their first game of the season last night against the Nashville Predators. And let me tell you, it looked like they didn't miss a beat. They won 7-0. So they scored the touchdown and got the extra point in the second period. Hooray.
All right, hockey. Scoring's up.
Yeah, scoring is up, yes. But if you didn't hear, besides the Carolina Hurricanes, they haven't played since, I think it's been Tuesday, I think. They had 5 of their players went on the COVID list, so they postponed their game at Nashville, and they had to look to see how many were tracing. There were a total of 5, so they have not been able to play. The facilities have been closed. Hopefully, they may be able to get back onto the ice this coming week. We will see. But the bigger story was, how stupid do you get? The Washington Capitals, just like the Denver Broncos. Here they go, 4 players. And I can tell you the names: Alexander Ovechkin, Ilya Samsonov, Dmitry Orlov, and Evan G. Knutsov were at a Pittsburgh hotel after the second game was over. They were together. They were socializing because in the rules of the NHL, when you're in a hotel, when you are in your room, you have to stay single only. Nobody can be in there unless you're a maid or an engineer or for room service. That's it. So these 4 people, because of that, it's basically the Capitals were fined $100,000, just like the NFL, like they did. And then here comes the 4 players who got it. They are quarantining it's like they got suspended each for 4 games, basically taking it like a suspension. It's odd, but they were stupid enough to do it. And now, of course, the Capitals played their game without those 4 players. And then, of course, they lost another one due to injury. So now they're really down 5 players. You got to be smart right now. I mean, the NHL put it cut and dry, and you said it best, Joe. This is why the NHL, because we have more teams in Canada, this is why the Canadian teams are not coming to the United States until we hit the Final 4.
Yeah.
And so all the Canadian teams are just playing each other. It's like Montreal's playing Vancouver and Vancouver. It's a long travel across Canada, but at least you're not crossing the United States. Just got to be smart out there right now. That's all it is. Play it right.
Well, look at college hockey right now. UConn's played Boston College like 5 times in the season.
And they're playing again tonight too.
Yeah, just to get games in.
But Joe, they don't mind right now because they want to play competitive hockey. They so far from what I've read, they're 5-5-1 right now.
Yeah.
From the last I saw, so they're off to a good start.
Well, at the college level, all the college athletes are bored right now since they can't play.
I mean,
They
another
just
example.
want to play. Yeah.
Here's another example. This morning, they actually had on ESPN on my TV. They had the indoor track invitational in Indiana, where it was It was at an armory, no fans, no nothing. These athletes were bored out of their mind if they weren't pole vaulting or high jumping or running or hammer throwing.
Yep. Hammer throwing.
Yeah, hammer. Yeah, we got hammer throw. Some of them do actually have hammer throw. Believe it or not, even in the high school, it's scary. But
okay,
we don't have it in Bristol. But anyway.
I know you're out there trying to catch the hammer.
Yeah, right. I'd rather be saying good jump or foul.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Also, as well, today there was an actual trade. This morning it came down at about 10:30. Jean-Luc Dubois of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I can say it pretty good as a French version of it.
Yeah, okay.
Has been wanting ever since the season started. He signed a 2-year extension with Columbus for $10 million, but the word was out that he wanted out of the Columbus Blue Jackets because he didn't like being yelled at by the head coach, John Tortorella, during the playoffs. And then it began this past week where he got benched for a couple periods, and he got benched for another 2 periods. And then they were asking him questions that, of course, he's smart not to answer the wrong way. He had to answer it politely. So this morning, there was a nice trade. He was sent to the Winnipeg Jets for Patrick Laine, who also wanted out of that team, Winnipeg, and another player who wanted out because he wanted a new contract and he was sitting on the bench. And then it was announced this morning, but of course, Laine and the other one, they have to quarantine because they're traveling from Canada to the United States. Hopefully it'll be a short quarantine for Laine. Well, Laine's out anyway. He's injured, so he can't even play. The other one, I think, has to wait 5 days, but I don't know what the rules are for a trade in any sports, how long you got to quarantine for, especially if you're coming from the Canada.
I think it's a week. You got to pass like 3 positive tests in a row to be cleared if you're going into another state.
Yep.
So,
absolutely. But go ahead, Joe. You can ask this hockey question. Go ahead.
Well, I hear that, and James Harden forced his way out of Houston and stuff like that, and that's another player forcing themselves out of a contract to another team. You see it in football. You see it in basketball.
Mm-hmm. But now with this trade that happened in hockey, Joe, at least he said he wanted out, and the coach understood it. They said it before the season started, which is good. He admitted to it, and he tried his best to see what was happening. But then, once he started benching and all that. But the good news is he didn't go out with the media and started complaining. That was the key.
Well, that's what basketball players do. They control the media and they force it. But
of course, with Harding, he was, the Houston Rockets told him, get the heck out of here. For hockey, even Dubois said he wanted to get better. He says, for next time. Well, now here's your next time. Now you got a chance to go get your career back together with the Winnipeg Jets, and we'll see how you do. I mean, I knew the Jets were ready to move on from Laine, but he was hurt, so they had to be careful how that was going to work, because if he has to get a physical and, of course, he fails, then the trade is full and void.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will for next week's show. I'll talk about the some of the teams who's playing well right now, like the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Dallas Stars, all been playing well. There hasn't been many coaches on the hot seat or anything like that, but I do want to have a shout out though to Semyon Varlamov, the New York Islander. He's played 3 games so far. He's only given up 1 goal.
Yeah, 1 goal, nice.
1 goal in 3 games. That is pretty good. If he started the season with 3 shutouts in a row, he would have been the first goaltender to ever do that.
Nice.
But
Okay.
I was very happy for what I did. So my shout out for the NHL players this week is definitely Semyon Varlamov for the New York Islanders. Keep it up. Don't do anything risky. Don't be like what the Washington Capitals did. And my other one is Tyler Toffoli of the Montreal Canadiens. He has 6 goals already to start the season. He leads the league in goals, so he's off to a very good start. Keep it up. See what happens. Okay, my hockey thing is done for now.
Hockey thing is done. All right, we still got a lot of time here. So.
Oh, I know, but that's why I wanted to say football because we're going to be on this.
All right, let's do you want to say football to the very end, or what do we got?
No, we can go with it now if you want. We can do the quick today since we didn't do that last week. So, which game do you want to talk about first?
Football. Let's see what we got. Football. The NFL. Let's see. The NFL scoring. Conference games, divisional round. Well, the LA Rams and the Green Bay Packers was one healthy team versus a non-healthy team, and that was pretty much the whole game. One was healthy, one was not healthy. Jared Goff was really not a non-factor in the game. He did okay, but with his thumb being injured and stuff, he didn't have too much zip on the ball. And the Green Bay Packers pretty much wore them out, and they just took care of them.
What did we think of the play where Aaron Rodgers faked the throw and ran in the end zone himself? Rams never saw that coming.
No, they never saw that one coming. They never saw the wide receiver when he dashed from one side to the other and just went out in the for the 2-yard goal line pass. They never saw that coming because the corner got picked off easily. You saw, I forgot his name, but number 17 for the Green Bay Packers.
Devontae Adams.
Yep. I mean, he had a really easy touchdown right there. I mean, he just walked right into
the Rams had no solution how to stop him. Period.
No, they didn't.
And most of the game anyway, Aaron Donald
was held in check.
Aaron Donald still had rib injury and everything else in between.
Yeah, it was one healthy team versus a non-healthy team.
Healthy team. And after, yes, the Rams did get within striking distance, but then after that, the Packers had an answer pretty quickly.
Yep, they kept on answering and everything.
Yeah, and that's how Green Bay gets to the championship to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where, they came ready for New Orleans.
They did.
Unfortunately, yes, Antonio Brown got hurt. He is out for Sunday's game. He was, Brady had his best. He didn't really have to go overkill with the ball, but, what an opportunity for him if he wins this game, though. He would be in the Super Bowl for the 10th time in his career.
Yep, 10th time.
He's 6-3 lifetime. He's lost to the Giants twice, and he's lost to the Eagles on the other occasion.
Yep.
It's going to be tough because this is going to be the coldest game he's played all year. That by far.
And he's no stranger to cold.
No, I know he's not.
He's no stranger. Neither is Gronk. Maybe a couple other Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't really used to the cold, but Brady's longevity in the sports. I mean, he's put on Mount Rushmore if he goes to his 10th Super Bowl.
Yup.
He belongs on Mount Rushmore if he does that.
He belongs on Mount Rushmore? I like that.
So, well, you got to think who's on Mount Rushmore in football. There's probably Brady, Jerry Rice. If you want to throw in Emmitt Smith for a running back, and probably the fourth would be somebody else. But
Yeah.
I would say those three players belong on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that another time. Well, we can talk about that next week when football has a break. So
yeah, football, we can do that on next week.
Yeah, we can do that next week about that. We can make opinions about the four best on Mount Rushmore. I wouldn't do that yet, but this should be. I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I hope it's competitive.
I hope so too. I think New Orleans. Yes, they got a bad call a couple times in the game on them, but I think Drew Brees. It's over. It's over for him. He had a great career.
Yep.
At the end of the game, he was on the field with his family and stuff, having his family moment on the field, and it's no shame if he hangs up his career right now. No shame at all. He won a Super Bowl. He's been the MVP. I mean, he's going to finish probably second or first in all-time scoring and touchdowns and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I wish him well if he.
I do too, because I don't think you know what. This is the reason why I think he will call it career. I mean, it's not official, but remember, he's taken some a lung injury and a rib injury the last couple of years, pretty rough. And that's coming down to it. You know, the accuracy isn't as there as it was in the past. I mean, you notice that's why you see there's a quarterback change every once in a while during the game.
There's quarterback time for changes like a goal yard stance. If you have to do a quarterback sneak, you don't want Brees get re-injuring the ribs, or another if there's a quarterback option play to be run, and you just need a younger quarterback to do those plays, and Drew Brees can't do those plays anymore. I mean, he'll get injured a lot more. But
yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that, Joe. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. Will he get into the Hall of Fame? First ballot? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We agree with that, But then, of course, the quarterback, do you do Taysom Hill or do you do Jameis Winston? I hate to say it, you got to put Hill over Winston. I can't trust Winston if he's going to throw the picks.
I think he is a little wild and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think Taysom Hill would be just fine. I mean, he's run more than probably 40% of the plays throughout the season anyways.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, for Drew Brees, he picked up New Orleans when they had that bad hurricane down there. He took that franchise on his shoulders, on his back for a few years, and then they just had a whole bunch of success and stuff. Yep. I mean, in the Saints, when they were bad, they used to wear bags over their heads. They don't do that anymore.
No, I'm glad they stopped doing that. I remember that when they put the paper bags over their heads. There are some, who's the only team that really still does that now a little bit? The New York Jets. Probably.
Well, the Jets keep on getting worse. We'll talk about.
Well, at least they hired a coach.
Yeah, they hired
an energetic coach from the San Francisco 49ers, and he brings over an offensive coordinator who didn't really do anything because Kyle Shanahan was calling the plays anyway for San Francisco. So
yeah,
and by the way, Matt Patricia is back with the Patriots as of today.
As of today, yeah.
We don't know in what role. You know what I think is going to happen? I think he's going back to defensive coordinator.
I think so. Yeah, he will be.
And then we'll have him. We may have the three main people back on the bus.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking that. With the defense coming back, I think we will be back next year. In a way,
I think so, but we still need the quarterback.
The quarterback position.
Position is
for another day.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, a couple quarterbacks in the AFC went down. Do you want to talk about Mahomes or Jackson first?
Let's go with Jackson first.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
The Buffalo Bills were ready for his rushing attack because they knew once he had the ball, Buffalo was ready to stuff him at any time, any moment. And then, unfortunately, come in the fourth quarter, he suffered a concussion. He got laid out. But this is the one thing, and you'll heard about this, Joe.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills Mafia. They donated and helped him about $500,000 for his charity.
Yeah, they did. They came through. During the game, I was surprised Buffalo knew what they could do and not do against that Baltimore defense. They came out throwing the ball. They didn't even rush for any rushing attempts, I think, in the first quarter.
Yup.
So until the second half, yeah, they sprinkled in some runs, but they wore out the Baltimore's front end.
And you know what? Buffalo's offense was not that explosive. It was the defense that got it done.
Yeah, it was the defense, but it was that offensive plan that kept – I mean, yes, they missed a couple field goals and stuff like that. And once I saw Baltimore's kicker ding the goalpost twice in one game, I'm like, yeah, he can hit the uprights. He's out of here. I mean, he's that accurate. But I think Baltimore, if they got those 2 field goals, they would have been a little bit more into it. But when you see your kicker do that twice in a game, ding those uprights, it's really, especially a good kicker like Baltimore has, he is a really good kicker. I mean, those are his first misses of the season, I think, for those yardage. And it was a 30 or 35-yard field goal.
Well, the wind played havoc with the ball, though, too.
Yeah, but Baltimore still passed the ball. No, it's Baltimore. Buffalo still passed the ball.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs was still a good factor for that game.
Yeah, that's Josh Allen should buy Stephon Diggs a nice steak dinner when the season's over, because
it may be more than a steak dinner if they win tomorrow. If they win Sunday,
it's going to be more than a steak dinner. But the addition of Stephon Diggs to that team is huge.
He hasn't played one time this year, unlike he did with Minnesota.
Well, he keeps on getting the ball in great condition.
And put Cole Beasley into the mix, too. He's picked it up the last second half of the season. I got good props for him. The only bad thing is the running game for Buffalo is not that good.
No. Well, if they go into KC with a good passing attack in the second half against Baltimore, their run plays were good. I mean, they ran for 10 or 12 yards on their running play. They wore out that defensive line by passing the ball. I mean, Colt Beasley, I compare him to a Wes Welker type player. He's that good. Maybe a Julian Edelman. Maybe he's in that class too for a slot receiver. But yeah. So that was that game.
Yup. Now the next one, the final one is Kansas City and playing Buffalo. Hold on. All right. And when I get to after we talk about that football point with our quickies, I got my goalie. I got to go pick up. So but anyway,
gotta go pick up your goalie.
Patrick Mahomes, before he got a concussion, he injured his toe. He wasn't 100%. He was limping around.
Yep, he was.
The whole game. And then when the second injury came down, I'm telling you, everybody in Kansas City went, uh-oh, pray for him. Here we go. Let's see how serious this concussion is. And at first they said it was a neck injury too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It wasn't too much of a big hit. It wasn't like, it wasn't like a helmet or anything like that. Actually, I didn't even see the hit that was that brutal or anything. I think his
No,
neck did get injured more than his head.
no. Well, he still had to go through the concussion protocol anyway, and he
Well, that's because his offensive linemen had to help him up. If he didn't catch him, he would have been on the ground again.
Yeah, well, the doctor actually, they did spot, the neurologist people did spot him that he wasn't right, so he immediately had to go in there.
Yeah.
And Chad Henne was the life savior of the day because Cleveland, and I said it was going to be a competitive game. Cleveland was coming on strong, even though that we had a bad officiating call with the officials with the helmet-to-helmet. They were watching the football more than the helmet-to-helmet contact, unfortunately.
Yep. That play may be changed for next year.
Just don't put another video review about just like pass interference. Please don't.
No, I don't think it'd be under review or anything. But that play with the ball going out of the end zone really favors the defense so much. I mean, that right there, not scoring on that touchdown or at least getting a field goal out of that possession.
Yep.
That just killed the Browns' pretty much momentum. That just took them right out of it. And for Andy Reid to go on fourth down to ice the game.
They wanted to draw him off sides. Cleveland didn't see it. That was impressive.
With a backup quarterback. I mean, I know Chad Henne is a veteran quarterback and stuff, but
what about the play before that on 3rd and 14? Henne went for a big risk.
Yep. He right in between them, and they caught the ball. And I say that that penalty or that
the
play,
non-penalty call,
that play really turned the momentum in favor for Kansas City. That really, even with Mahomes out of the lineup from them, I think that really killed the Cleveland's chances.
Yep.
Hopefully Cleveland learns from this. And
Cleveland's coach is going to win Coach of the Year. We already know that. Stefanski's going to get it.
Yep.
Definitely.
Hopefully
there were improvements, but is Beckham going to be back with the Cleveland Browns? I'm not going to say yes or no to that.
Yeah, that could happen. But
was part of a distraction without him not being there helped? I would say a fair amount.
Yeah, fair amount, but Cleveland's future, if they hold it together and they keep the pieces around Baker Mayfield the way that they are, and Baker Mayfield steps up a little bit more. I mean, he doesn't have to do a lot. He just has to be a game controller for Cleveland to produce another season like this. He doesn't have to go.
Can they repeat what some teams make the playoffs and then the next year you never hear them make the playoffs again for a few years? Can Cleveland,
look,
make that rebound? We will find out and see, but I would like to see how Beckham does with his trying to get his injury back to 100%. But like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with how it's going to play out during the off season for them. But at least now Cleveland can relax. As for my picks, I know Kansas City, the favors not the spread is not too big.
I'll check on that.
Yeah, go ahead and check for both games if you can.
All right. Actually, Green Bay is favored by 3.5, -3.5.
That's low.
Yeah, that's very low.
I would take Green Bay with the points, definitely.
Yeah, Green Bay points. Yeah, I'd take Green Bay in the points. But can Tampa Bay go into Lambeau Field and win? Yeah, they can. I think so. I think they will have fans in Green Bay.
Yes, there will be. And I think I don't know how many fans there will be there, but there'll probably be a couple of thousand.
Yep. there'll be a couple thousand cheeseheads. So yeah, those fans yell a lot, so you'll be able to hear them.
Yup. Now, what's the favor in Kansas City?
Kansas City's favored by 3.
Oh, that's another low option.
Yep. Well, for Baltimore, for the Bills, they need to come out with a good strategy. They need to stop KC from making things look too easy.
Someone's going to have is going to be on the one looking at Tyreek Hill, and they may put him on double coverage too.
Yeah, but if you double coverage Tyreek Hill, Kelsey is running down your field and catching touchdowns. I mean, if for Baltimore, I think their biggest obstacle is to control Kelsey. Control the middle of the field, push your Tyrone Hills and stuff, to the outside. Make Mahomes throw the difficult balls down the field that way.
Right, or if not, make him only do short passes.
Yeah, and make sure you tackle on those short passes. Make sure they're 3-yard gains, nothing more, nothing less. But yeah. I think Stephon Diggs and Jared Allen will produce points in this game. I'm seeing maybe 23 points for Buffalo.
Yup.
And maybe 27, 28 for KC, something like that.
Now, here's a question for you, Joe. I figure I would ask this in advance.
Yep.
Has this ever happened before where whatchamacallit? Okay. So my question to you is, I don't think a team has ever played in the Super Bowl on their home turf, have they?
No, that has not happened. I believe a couple of years ago or something like that. Well, yeah. Tampa Bay would be the first to play a home game in their home series for the Super Bowl if they win.
Okay. Because you would think there is a chance that it could happen.
It can happen. I think last teams were San Francisco had a shot at it, and another NFC team had a shot at it. I think New Orleans had a shot at it too one year because it was in New Orleans going to be. But will that be a big factor in the game? Yeah, that would. If it's Tampa Bay and Buffalo and almost rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl against a veteran quarterback like Tom Brady, yeah, I think that would propose more challenge. So this has been the Sportsman Show. I've been your host, Joe Musel. Watch us on YouTube. Watch us on television. Like us. Comment, please. Comment on our YouTube plays so we know you're out there. Coachy.
And I'm Jason Coachy Careless. You almost forgot about me, by the way.
I didn't forget about you. I was telling the people more about stuff.
Yes, like Joe said, please watch our YouTube videos. Please watch us on TV. It doesn't update all the episodes. And the next time we will talk, it will be for the Super Bowl situation.
And we will have our prediction and stuff like that.
Well, no, we may not do a prediction right off the bat because we got a week off. So you got to watch how practices do. But
maybe we can have a guest on to do something.
Yeah, that'd
to fill the void. Yep.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you.
Enjoy.
No more glitches.
Bye. Bye-bye.